everybody, this is Tim. Welcome back to another episode of Boone County Beekeeper. Now, today it's Saturday, it's April the 20th. And it's probably close to 10 o'clock in the morning. Still a little early. I've been going at it before daylight this morning. I caught a big swarm. I told you in the last video this was going to be the week. I've caught 2 so far all this week. Now, I'm going to put that swarm into my long hive, so I'm going to start that back up, and we'll do a series on that long hive. But now, I wanted to get on here. I told you in the last video I had something I wanted to show you, and this is it. This right here is this is the Hive IQ, guys, and let's talk about it just for a minute. The good things that I see and some bad things. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've never fooled with a polystyrene hive. Never really thought about it, to be honest with you. But back in seasons past, I've never had any trouble getting my bees through the winter. Never have. I've never lost that many. And this year, we know what happened. I lost them all. I lost everything I had. And very unusual. I mean, I did basically the same thing that I always did. Only thing that I did different, and I've thought a lot about it, is ordinarily I would take some 2-inch foam insulation and I would scoot them all together, and I would block each end cap up and then around the back, and I left the front open because the sun hits in here. Well, that foam, I believe, really kept them good and insulated, kept the wind off of them. You think about a box, a wooden box, they're not very thick, 3/4 of an inch, and pretty tough in the summer when the heat gets miserable. It's got to be, and bees will really have to work hard to keep yourself cool. But it's got to be miserable in the winter. It really does. So now, I've got that fake May. That's what I call it, the fake Apamay, and I'm gonna put some bees in it this year. I would love to have some Apamays, but let's just be honest, guys. They're too pricey. I can't do it. So I got thinking, what else can I do? And one day I got on there, and I like to watch Joe May, Little Bits Honeybees. I've watched him for years. He's a very smart man. And I got noticing, he'd been off for a while, and I got noticing, man, he's went to almost all polystyrene hives. And I thought, man. And then he done a video on those hives, and he talked about how good that his winterization has come up. His getting them through the winter level. He's getting a lot more through. It started to click, and it made sense. It was all that insulation. It's got to be easier on the bees. Now, I looked around different places and different things, and this is the newest thing out on the market. And this is the Hive IQ, and it is an Australian company. They're big over in Australia. And I thought, I'm going to try one. So I bought one back, a while back. And I want to put some bees in it this year and see how they do. Especially really want to see how they do through the winter. And also through the summer when the heat really hits in here. But there's some things that I really like about it. And there's a few things that needs to be improved, and I'm hoping that maybe this will make it to Hive IQ. Maybe they'll see, what I'm talking about here. Now, I'll show you a little bit about it. It's a well-made unit, and I didn't do an unboxing, or I didn't do a video on putting it together. There's a million of those out there. Now, one thing that was a little different on mine, this lid, it feels like plastic. The ones that I've seen on the videos that come with a metal lid that you had to actually glue on here. Well, when mine arrived, this was already attached. You can't get it off. It seems like a really hard plastic, and which I like that. It's just nice. Polystyrene, and I tell you, I was skeptical. I thought, man, styrofoam. You know, I thought of a styrofoam cooler. I thought, I don't know. I don't know if it'll hold up, but I'm gonna tell you, I believe this thing here will hold up the way that it's built. And it's hard. It's almost like a plastic kind of. I don't know. It's hard, and it really is, and it seems to be really well made. Now, one thing that I do wish they had, and I know that they are working on it. I seen a video there with Victor on there, and that is a hive top feeder. You know, feeding your bees is very important. I do a lot of feeding, you know, at the end of the summer, and try to build them up for winter. And right now, I guess what I'll have to do is do a in-frame feeder. Now, they are working on a new feeder. I did see that. He done a video on it. Supposedly, it's supposed to be out pretty soon, and that'll be great. Now, that really will be great if that happens. Another thing for me, now this is just me. Now, that feeder, what I seen on there, you feed sugar syrup with it. But he said you could also put sugar in it for the winter, kind of like the mountain camp method, and that's good. But I don't fully trust that. It's the same way with an apamay. To me now, them bees, I think they could get up there, climb up through that hole, and get busy, and maybe, and this is just my opinion, maybe not be able to make it back down and get into a good cluster if it's, you know, really cold. So I don't really like that idea. I do like the idea of the feeder. But I would love to see them come out, and maybe they'll see this, with a little shim, maybe a 2-inch shim or whatever to go around this. Then your lid going. That would be good for mountain camp method. That would be good for pollen patties, fondant patties, sugar bricks, whatever, you know. I think that would be a really good thing, and I would like to see that, and maybe we will. Now, the biggest thing that kind of what held me off, and I'm going to be honest with you, is treating this thing. You know, this thing is, it's all polystyrene, and look, it's light. Man, it is so light. And the outside diameter is basically the same as a 10-frame box. But you got to think now, a 10-frame wooden box is 3/4 of an inch thick. This thing is 1.5 inches thick, and that is great. Super light, super. And I do like the features here that I see. They've got these plastic strips all the way around on both the top and the bottom. And that's for your hive tool to go in to protect the polystyrene. It seems to be very tough. These end caps now on each side, they go in, and there's screws that you put down in the corner. You can watch the videos online of people putting it together, and then these just snap in place. Very well built, it is. But now here was my drawback, and here's what I really didn't know what to do, and that was I got thinking about treating this thing. You know, I've got right here, I've got a Larobe vaporizer. Man, that thing gets hot, okay? And I mean 400 and some degrees. You know, 400 and some degrees and styrofoam, that's not going to gel very well. So I didn't really know. That was kind of my drawback. I didn't know what to do. So what I did, I know Yappy Bee Man, he's big with these. He's got one, I believe, and I seen he was on a video. So I sent him a message, and he responded right back. You know, I asked, how can you treat this thing with oxalic acid? He was going to go and ask Victor, the guy that owns the company, see if he had any solutions. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I went ahead and I went online, and I've got the Hive IQ on Facebook. And I went ahead and I got on the group forum there, and I posed a question, is there a way to treat this? Nobody had an answer. Nobody really could tell me anything, and I'd already, ordered the thing, had it here, and so I thought, that's not good. But there is a way, and you got to think now. This is all polystyrene. Even the base is polystyrene. It's got a screen bottom board. I'll show you here before we quit. But it's got a screen bottom board. Well, I thought and I thought and I thought. Now, how can I treat this thing? So here's what I did, and let me stress this before we go any further. Here's my remedy for it. This is what I did. I don't want to sound like Mike Barry here, but I am in no way telling you to do your brand new Hive IQ hive in this fashion. You do that at your own risk if that's what you want to do. This was my method. This is the way that I come up with it, and this is the way that I did it. And I don't want you to start drilling a bunch of holes in your hive and then send me a message. Say, man, I've ruined my hive because of your advice. So I'm just making that plain. I am not telling you to do this. But here's how I remedied it, and I've already tried it. It works, and it seems to work pretty well. And it's really the only way that I know to do it. But I went down to Lowe's, and I bought a 1.5 inch dowel rod. That's what I did. I bought a 1.5 inch dowel rod. And let me take this apart real quick. I'll show you. So I bought a 1.5 inch dowel rod at Lowe's, and I went ahead and I took a 1.5 inch hole saw, and I went in on the back of this thing as low as I can. Now, if you do this, remember you got this plastic that goes on right here, so you don't want to drill your hole too low. So I did it right in this where this tag goes right here, as you can see. But I drilled a 1.5 inch hole right here in the back of the hive. I cut that dowel rod just a fraction longer than the thickness of this hive. Now the inside, as you can see, if you can see that, it's flush. I left this sticking out just a little bit past that, and I'll show you why here in a minute. So I drilled me a hole through there that the vaporizer brass nipple would fit through, and then I tried it out. Now, what was concerning to me, and I'm going to set this here like this, what was concerning to me was this whole thing gets hot. So when I put that in there, I was afraid when I turned it that way to walk away that this piece right here would get so hot that it might melt that plastic. So what I did, see if I've got it here, I do, is I use a lot of that real thin plywood for my inner covers and stuff. I got me a piece of shore ply. And so what I do is I just put it like that, and then this will rest just like that on the back of the box. Now I've tried that 2 or 3 times, and let me tell you, it works good. It does. It works real well. The only thing that worries me a little bit is this will be up on your frame, just up towards the bottom of your frame. That mist is going to go in there. I don't think it'll be enough to hurt anything. So when I tried it out, I had this thing all put together, 3 layers. And what I did, I took the top off. Man, a lot of vapor in there, okay? So it'll be a good amount come up, and I think that'll treat your bees really well. Now, like I said, I am not telling you whatsoever to do that. You do that at your own risk. But that's the only way that I could see to treat this thing. Now, so if they would get a feeder and maybe a shim, this thing here might be a game changer, guys. I'm serious. I love it. It is so light. I mean, you cannot even express how light that is. Now the base, again, you know, it's polystyrene. It's well built. You do have this channel right here that screws on. Political sign is what I'll do, you know, for when I'm treating. I'll put my political sign down in there. That'll hold the vapor. You got a screen bottom right here, aluminum. So I mean, it's well built, and this thing is strong. It's got this here's for a pollen trap. I don't have the pollen trap, but that's one thing that they've got out there. I do like this, the way that this is built. Your entrance, you know, you can different ways to do it. Choke it down. Got magnets in there. I like that a lot. So I think it's going to be good. But what we're going to do, we're going to when we get those nukes that I ordered. I remember I got an Italian and I got a Buckfast. They should be here. I'm going to say probably within 2 or 3 weeks, I would think. This is getting down here at the end of April. The Buckfast is going to go in here, and I never do it, but what I'm going to do with this here, I'm going to run this as a double deep. Now, I'll show you another thing. This queen excluder, the way that it's built, let me put this back up. The way that it's built, it don't lay on the main top. No, it fits down in, and I like that. Might be a little tough getting it out, but I think we'll be fine. But I like the way that's built right down toward the top of your frames. They sell supers for this thing. I don't know. This is a medium. This whole thing here comes as a kit. You can get them different variations. I got 2 deeps and a medium. You can buy mediums. You can buy deeps. And listen, you can even buy shallows. Now, one thing about this, as I told you, this same outside dimensions is a 10 frame box, 1.5 inches thick, 10 frame. You only can get 9 frames. This is a 9 frame box. That's what they are. They're 9 frames. So what I'll do is I'm gonna run this as a double deep with those Buckfast, and we'll see what happens. I'm anxious to get them bees in there, see how they do. I watched a guy from NKY Bees all the time there in Kentucky. He's tried a couple. He brought them through the winter, and he loves them so far. And that's one thing that really convinced me how good his bees looked, you know, through the winter. So I'm anxious to see what happens, guys. I really am. So I like trying different things. So we'll see what happens. And the price. Let's talk price for a minute. Now, if you shop around, you'll do pretty good. Shipping is what gets you. And I'll be honest, I looked around and I got this thing from the Texas Bee Supply. Fast. They're very fast shipping. They seem to be a really nice company. Free shipping. So what's the price of these? They're about, I'm going to say, half the price of an Apamay. Maybe less than half the price of an Apamay. So that's more my speed. I can't do it. Now I do have a 7 frame Apamay nuke, and for splitting and things like that. But I tell you, I paid almost as much for the Apamay nuke that what I paid for this, and that's just it's crazy. So I'm anxious to try it. We'll see how it does, and we'll follow this along. This won't be the last time you see this. It's going to go right over here on this other stand, and we are going to put those Buckfast girls in there, and we're going to see how they do. See if we can get them through the winter. Now, my bees are starting to fly over here. The sun's finally popped out, and it's starting to warm up. And I've got a lot of work here today to do. I'm going to try to knock it out. Little mama's wanting to go out and eat somewhere this evening, so I may sneak and see that baby and get us something to eat. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to go over here and jump in these girls. So just a quick video. I want to get on here. Wanted to show you this thing. Might be something you want to try out. Like I said now, the way that I'm going to treat it, don't, don't do yours because you think that I've told you to do that, because I'm not telling you to do that. If you see this Hive IQ, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this will work. I think that it will. The way to treat that with oxalic acid. Maybe they'll come up with something, better. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now, if this thing does what I think it's going to do, I'll be honest, if it's good through the winter, you may see another one or two in my apiary, in a year or so. I don't know. We'll just, the jury's still out. We'll see what it does. But that's all that I wanted to do today, guys. I want to just get on here, quick video, show you what we're going. I'm always liking trying new things, so we'll see what happens. We'll get over here, we'll get in these girls and see what they're doing. I'm anxious to see. It looks like they're flying pretty good, so it's time to get in there. So if you don't care, if you've not subscribed yet, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and guys, I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you being here and all the wonderful comments. I really do. It means a lot. And I'd like to say, God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless your bees. I hope you and your family are doing well, and I hope your bees are doing well. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful bee season. Mine is starting to turn around. Like I told you, I was beeless. I'm up now. I've got one to put in a long hive. I've got that one my buddy gave me, and I've got another swarm. It's in the box. 90% of it's in the box, let's put it that way. I hung it out after church last Sunday night at a buddy of mine's house, and by Wednesday I already had one moved in. Problem was they didn't all go in the box, so I still got about a fist-size ball of bees hanging right around that vent. I think they can smell that queen through that vent, so I'm gonna have to do something with them. I was gonna give them a couple more days, see if they'll go in on their own. If they don't, I'll have to do something. But so that takes us up to 3. And listen, the swarm. This is gonna be an awesome swarm year, I believe. On catching swarms, might be terrible losing swarms, but man, I've got scouts at all my traps. Man, they're hitting it hard. So I think it's gonna be an awesome swarm season, and I love catching swarms. I do. You never know what you're going to get. So, guys, that's it. I've talked long enough. The Hive IQ. Try it out. I think you'll like it. I think I'm going to like it. I'm anxious to get those girls and put them in there. We'll see what they do. So until next time, this is Tim, the Boone County Beekeeper. Thanks for stopping by.